Are you wanting to add just a touch of something else to your amigurumi to make it more lifelike or to give it a little bit more personality? Today, I'm going to be talking about how to sculpt or shape the amigurumi faces. Diana and I created this channel, Scrappy Warrior Woman, as a way to help my friends learn how to crochet. So if you've landed here, welcome. So today we are going to be talking about how to add just a little bit more personality to your amigurumi. So you can take your amigurumi that looks like this, add a little bit more to it like this. See how his face looks a little bit different than that face? Okay. Or even still, you've got something that looks like, here's a little close-up of this duo right here. So see how his eyes look a little bulgy? And here's the one that I did with the sculpting. I do have some tips and I do have some tricks that are in this video, and also I always have bloopers at the end, so stay tuned. For the tutorial, we are going to need a pair of scissors, a needle, yarn. I'm going to show you two different examples. We are going to talk about how to sculpt or shape your amigurumi's faces. So I already have a piece cut here. If you had a ruler, I like to take and measure about, I don't know, almost 24 inches. Just give yourself an ample amount of yarn to be able to do this. You don't want to be too short. One of the keys, if you don't have a ruler, this is how I usually measure because I usually don't have my ruler right next to me. I'll take my yarn. I measure just past this part where it bends in your arm. I give myself just a little bit more and then I cut it. So I'm going to cut it for our next project. For the first example that I'm going to show you, I am going to thread my needle. I like to do this before my animal is assembled just because I find it easier, but I will show you both ways. So I'm going to show you how to face shape the eyes on this. It's going to be a bear, and I'm going to show you how to do it before I've added the body, which is my preferred method if you are past that point and you want to do it separate. So I will show you both examples. So this is number one example while your animal or creation doesn't have its body. So with my threaded needle, I'm going to go through the bottom of my animal and I am going to put it through like the center part where I would start the base or where I'm going to assemble the body. So I'm going to put my yarn through there. I don't know if you see that. I'm going to work it up. And it may take a little bit for you to do it. So I work it till I have a little bit of a tail on this side. And then I'm going to keep working this up towards my eye. Okay. Now, I'm going to make sure that this needle is going to slide right next to the safety eye. Pull that up. And make sure it pulls normal over there. You don't see it pulling down. And then I'm going to go down the side of the eye, right next to the eye right here. And sometimes you pull up fluff and you just get rid of it. You put it right next to the eye and then you go underneath the eye like this and you pull, careful, right? And then you go in the same hole and you'll see a little bit of the yarn right, you'll see a bit of the yarn right here, but don't worry about that because it will pull flush once we do this next step. So now we're going to put your needle back through that same place where you came up, and kind of get it, you're gonna poke it down through, and you might have to work it through a few stitches to try and get it close to the other stitch. Don't pull it too tight just yet, because I want to show you this. Okay, so this is coming out the same little space. You can fix it there so it doesn't pull it down. All right, now that you have your yarn like that, you're going to take this starter yarn right here, and you're going to pull your yarn, and it kind of cinches the eye down right here. See how that's cinched down? And I like to help it sometimes, and I will pull it down like this. Okay, and sometimes it'll catch on a yarn, and you can just come with your scissors and work that back out. Okay, so it's gonna cinch just a little bit. See how it's compared to the other eye? It's a little bit cinched down. Okay, now we're gonna do the other eye. So leaving this tail like this, we're gonna work it up the same way, and see how short this is. So we're gonna be smart about that, and we're going to work it up the same way. Okay, work it up. And you're gonna go on the outside of the eye. And now I'm going to work it down next to the eye, right here. And now we're gonna come along the bottom of the eye. Not pulling tight just yet. Across the bottom of the eye. And this yarn is gonna disappear once you pull it. All right, now we're gonna go in the same hole like we did before. And work towards the bottom, coming out the same hole, so that both of the yarn, so sometimes it looks like it sticks out. You can kind of work it underneath the eye, so you don't want to see that. So now I'm going to work it in through the same hole as the other one, so you have two ends there. Now, to help this so you don't pop any stitches, because I have done that, I kind of press it down so the yarn doesn't have to work as hard. So I cinch down on one side. You can see. Cinch down on one side. Now I'm going to cinch down on the other side. And this will release just a little bit. Okay, now that I have them both cinched down like I want them to, and I adjust them a little bit with my hands, I hold that pretty taut, okay? And then I tie a knot. So you can do a square knot. Thank you for my time in the Boy Scouts as a den mother. Okay, one. Remember, you can pop the string, or the yarn, so be careful. Two is a square knot, okay? And I always like to do one more because why not? Okay, now see how this pulled in just a little bit on there? We can go in here and work that out just a little bit with our scissors. All right, now you've got these cute indented eyes. But what do you do with this part? Well, you cut them off, not too short, and then you just work them down into the body. And remember, you're going to be stitching over this area right here, or stitching over the area that you want to. Okay, there is one way to shape your face. I have another project that I finished, and it already has the blush under the cheeks, and it's kind of a different shaped creature because it's, you know, already made. So how do I do something like this? Well, so I've already cut my yarn. So I'm going to thread the needle. And I'm going to come in here towards the back where you might not see the entrance so well. So I'm going to come over here next to So just pick an area in the back of your creation, and same thing. Gonna work it up next to the eye, leaving a good string there. Gonna come down next to the eye and across the bottom. And then I'm going to do that across in the same hole like I did the first time. And I am going to work it out other side of the spine, because this one is unique and it has a spine. I'm gonna go ahead and work it out that way, because this is the side that's gonna be for the eye that I just did. And this is gonna be for the other side that I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna work it down the side of the eye, down the side of the eye, and then down and across the bottom, and through that same, I'm gonna work it through over here by this other one, okay? Okay, and depending on how much you want to indent the facial features is how much you pull the yarn. So I'm going to be careful about this because this yarn will pop. So I pulled it down just a little bit. It did indent a little bit there. Maybe you can see that a little bit. I'll do the other side so you can see that. So pulling the other side, pushing in just a little bit. Now from the top part, you can see that indentation. And in person, it looks pretty cute. I'm not gonna pull it too tight, but again, gonna do my knot. I'm gonna knot it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to snip it, and I'm just going to use, I like these scissors. I like these scissors because they have a sharp point to them, and I ordered a pair off of Amazon, and I can go ahead and link those in the description. But I take these and I just work it carefully back through my animal, in this case a dinosaur. And you can't even tell that I ever did anything right there. All right, and then you have this cute little personalized dinosaur. So there are 2 ways of, like, oh, there you go. You can see the indentation with the eyes, and it looks more even in person than it does on the camera. But it is a cute, simple way of giving some character to your amigurumi, or plushies, or whatever you would like to call them. I hope you enjoyed this video today. It was really fun for me. I actually do this for my amigurumi about 99% of the time, just because I like to add this little touch of love to most of my amigurumi. Now I wanted to show you one that I created, and this is a phenomenal, this one I created from a free pattern that I will link below. So what's different about this one, so I had to freehand the shell, but as for the head, I wanted the head of this turtle, get it to, there we go, to look more like a turtle. So if he looks straight like that, you can see his eyes are raised. So this is an extra touch, eyes like I demonstrated, but then the top, what I did is I just took a little bit of yarn and I put it across the top, and then I pulled it down in the head part down here, and worked it in. This one turned out beautiful with that head indentation, because I didn't want it to be a rounded head. I wanted it to more look like a turtle. I hope that this video has helped you and that is inspiring you to make your amigurumis just a touch more. If you found the content of my channel helpful, please consider giving it a like and also subscribe to my channel. This actually helps my channel to grow and to reach other creators just like you, so we can all have more friends in this community. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crocheting! I hope you have a phone. Are you an amigurumist? What is that called?